Welcome to Resi Studio. So in this section on how to make your own custom device in the device simulator here on Unity, we're going to make from scratch a visual representation of the Google Pixel 5. So to get started on how to set up Unity to make your own custom files, I'll just put a link to the first section in the description below, and also you will have a link for the image that we're going to use for the simulator. So let's get started. So let us create the JSON file that we need to store all the information on the Google Pixel 5. If you're in Visual Studio, so file, new file, text file, open, save it, and go to my, save it as Google Pixel 5. Then two important extensions, .device.json, all files, and save. Good. Let us start with the basic information of the Google Pixel 5. So let's open these brackets with a friendly name. Pixel 5. Like always, version 1. So let us start with the information on the screens. Brackets. So the width of this device is 1080. And the height will be 2340. Navigation bar height is 0, doesn't have any. DPI 432. So now we're getting in the orientation section. For the purpose of the length of this video, I'm gonna do only one orientation, which is the portrait mode for the device. So feel free to actually add the other orientations, but I'm just gonna do only one. So let's put orientations. But here, brackets. So this will be orientation 1. Actually belongs to portrait mode. So for the save area and for the cutout, I'm just gonna put 0 on everything because we're gonna play around with this to get, once we have the image, we're gonna play around with those. Okay, so now we're going for the presentation part. Okay, so the image I prepared is actually called Google Pixel 5 _ overlay.png. So I'm also gonna give you that picture in a repository with other files that I've created. So the border size Once again, let's go with 0 on everything. So the information for the structure information for the screen is already laid out. Now we're gonna go for the system information or the hardware information of the device. So once we have this, then we can actually see the basic structure in the device simulator here in Unity. So system info, let's open the brackets. So device model, we're going with the Google Pixel 5. Following the structure of the other JSON file, device type is actually 1. So other operating system, we're going with the Android 11, if I'm not mistaken. Family, once again, 0. Found the structure of the other JSON files. The processor count is actually 8. The processor sequencing is 2841. Now we just put in details of the CPU that the Google Pixel 5 has. Processor type is actually ARM64. Now we're gonna add I'm gonna add something that all phones must require. So the next 5 lines that I'm gonna type, everything related to them is actually true. So I'm just gonna fast forward this section. Okay, now we're going to add in the system memory information. System information size, to be more precise, 6460. There's nothing here. The pendant data, put it here, and open brackets, and save it. And basically, with all of this already in the JSON file, we can have a visual representation for the Google Pixel 5. Like I said in my last section, this is the part that I'm still actually finding out the information. So with this basic structure, we can actually already start experimenting if our visual representation of Google Pixel 5 is communicating with Unity in the device simulator. So save everything in the JSON file, go to the simulator, let us type Google Pixel 5 to see. So here we go. So yeah, this actually is working. Now we just need to put the image in the same folder where the files are in order to visualize it. So let's go to my folder here. I have everything all in it on the desktop. Just gonna copy it. Paste it here. So let's refresh this just to see if it's actually working. Okay, yes, it is working. So we can actually see our image of the Google Pixel 5 is actually showing up in Unity. As you may know, it's actually a bit smaller for the image. So here, this is where we need to actually start playing around with the border size. So now they fit. So corner radius didn't any sign any difference, but the other devices actually has a 120 corner radius. So I'll just put it here, save it, let's refresh. So here we go. So it actually looks pretty nice. This is actually the Google Pixel 5. So as you can see, we're already starting to see how it looks. You can play around with the border size, so adjust it a little more on the height, on the corner, on everything. But for now, so I'm actually pleased with the border size of the device. You can actually keep playing around with. If you want to stretch it out, just put it a little more. I'm gonna go straight for the safe area and the cutout. So by default, I don't have anything here. It's gonna put the whole entire screen for the safe area. I'm gonna just put a little below here, next to the keyhole, to the function hole, to be more precise. So let's go with the width, 1080. And the height 340. So just gonna let me lower it down a little bit. So between 35 here. Let's see how it looks. Okay, not much different. Oh yeah, a little bit. I'm gonna go also to 23, 25. Yeah, I'm good with this. Yeah. So let us continue. So for the cutout, this is the section that we actually tell the simulator that this section of the screen, even though it's part of the screen, it doesn't actually work. So this is more related for the area where in the phone there's a camera punch hole, or in the case of the iPhone, the notch itself. We don't have a visual representation for the cutout. What I like to do is to use the safe area, so to actually help me out to set up the numbers. So first I'm gonna just copy this because I don't actually want to lose this information. So for the cutout, let us start with the width and the height to see how small this camera hole is. So this is exactly the cutout information that we actually need. So just pass all this number for the cutout. So in the X is 50, in the Y 2235, the width 75, and the height the same. I'm gonna put back again. I'm gonna paste the safe area here. Save it, refresh it. So here we go. So this is it. We are actually do have the Google Pixel 5 visually representative in the device simulator here on Unity. You're welcome to actually do the other orientation. Just remember that even though you see the safe area, by default, if you don't have information about the orientation, the safe area is gonna actually use the same width and height of the screen. So every time you do orientation, you have to set up the safe area and the cutout, since the positioning of the camera or the notch changes depending on the orientation. But you're more welcome to actually play around with it for the orientation. So there you have it. We have the Google Pixel 5 here on Unity. So once again, this is Red Sea Studio. Thank you for being here. Until the next one.